Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Dude, you are...
Happy to be here, man. Happy to be here.
You are the owner of the Church of Jamey.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. And you also are a member of the band Dead Play.
Yeah.
So at first, because your thing was like Dead Play Noise, I had it down as Dead Play Noise.
Yeah.
Your like latest song was Bleed. I want to get into that.
Yes, absolutely.
But first, like, dude, I have I'm gonna start this with a religious quote because I think it's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw a couple of podcasts on you. I know that like it's not, the backing isn't so much religious based at all.
No.
Which I understand.
Yeah, it isn't, but like I'm not, and it's funny because people will be like, oh, it's like he's mocking religion. I'm like, no, dude, like my dad is a pastor. Like now my dad is a pastor, you know, like I was raised a Christian, you know, so like I'm not like this anti-religion, anti-God person at all.
Yeah.
The church though, just the way it came about is like, what is church, right? Church is a place where people go to better themselves, change their life, right? So like to say that church couldn't be something that other than religious, right? Like, I think people tie that to the religion too much. It's like, nah, man, like for this is a church. You come here, you better yourself, you know?
That's wild, and that is fucking genius. I just thought that was genius. I was like, that is fucking genius.
Peaches. I think Peaches is the one that actually came up with it.
Really?
Yeah, we were partying one night. A little side story. We were partying one night, and dude, everybody, I had like probably 4 or 5 people who I had trained, all out of very dark places. Some of these people lost like 200 pounds, right? Like I had a dude lose 200 pounds, ended up fighting like 5 times. Never thought he'd fight ever, right? And so everybody like picks me up, like puts me over their head, dude. And like they all start chanting Church of Jamey. And it was a joke, dude. This was I didn't even own a gym at this time. I was training people like at the park.
Yeah.
You know? And like they all picking me up over their head like Church of Jamey. And it just stuck. We just kept it. And then next thing you know, we got like an actual building, and it's like, well, I guess we're running with this. Like, but we call it the church. You know, I was like, I'm one of those guys. I'm like, Jamey, like it's all of us. You know, it doesn't like my name doesn't have to be involved. You know, but
it is so wild because like when I remember, because I was getting my hair cut by Peaches at the time, and he was saying like, I work out with this guy Jamey. He's got everyone just goes to his garage and they fuck shit up there.
Dude, it was like garage, no windows. We had a heater up in the corner, just like where your fan is. And I put that heater on. It'd be like summer. It'd be like 100+ degrees in this garage.
Damn.
We'd go to dark places, man. We'd go to very dark places.
Dude, and that's interesting that you say that. So like I read through some of your stuff and I saw what you were going through during that time.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So I'm gonna just real quick, I'm gonna talk a bunch for a second. Yeah, and I want to know your thoughts on it because I kind of think, dude, I am fucking. I was thinking like, what should I do with this podcast? What kind of questions should I ask and stuff? Yeah. But the one thing I think that is interesting is all of this shit that you went through. Yeah. On the back end, you said like this has made you the best that you possibly have ever been. 100%, man. And I think that there's a lot to say about that because it's remarkable people who go out and create something from scratch. Like anybody who has like really gone out by themselves alone and with their community. Yes. But it's still like you doing it. Yeah, absolutely. You have to come through and overcome unbelievable shit. And so I'm gonna start this with a religious thing, but the religion is kind of funny. And I was searching through ChatGPT to find this. By the way,
that thing's crazy, bro.
So this is so this right here is the Buhay faith. So the Buhay faith is a monotheistic religion founded by Buhala in the mid 19th century, 1944. In Persia or modern-day Iran. So basically the teaching of this Buhay faith includes that oneness of humanity, the oneness of religion, the equality of men and women, the elimination of prejudice, the importance of education, the harmony of science and religion, and the establishment of a world federation of nations. Buha's faith is the belief that this Buhala is the latest in the line of prophets that included Abraham, Moses, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, and he's like the modern version of this. So, so like this is just what these dudes are up to over there in the Middle East. This kind of religion. So this is what this comes to the teaching, the hidden words that were found from this like cult
Yeah. Right when you said the founder's name, all I could think about was, I literally swear to God, you said the guy's name and I just had Hasbullah in the back of my mind. Hasbullah. I don't know if you know Hasbullah.
No, who's Hasbullah?
Hasbullah, little dude who's like 20. He's like the little Russian guy that rolls around with Khabib and stuff.
No.
You don't know Hasbullah?
Oh yeah. Oh no, Hasbullah. Yes.
I got like 3 shirts. I don't know why, dude. Like that dude hit the scene, bro, and I was like, I like this guy. Yeah, he just sucker punches everybody. He's like this tall.
No, dude, 100%.
He's great.
No, dude, and actually better yet, the best thing for you if you're listening to this right now is just to think of that guy saying this.
That's literally what I did. I was like, oh, I'm here. I'm with this.
Because it's probably pretty close. This is the quote. This is the quote that I came up with. Oh, this is from the Hasbullah guy. Yeah. O son of man, my calamity is my providence. Outwardly is the fire and vengeance, but inwardly is light and mercy. Hasten throughout thou, that thou mayest become an eternal light and an immortal spirit. Now, because I don't even know what the fuck that means, this is the this is the breakdown, and this is why I picked this one. So I'm gonna break this down. So when he says, "O son of man," he says the phrase is to address humanity, emphasize a universal nature of the message. Okay. My calamity is my providence. And by the way, I'm not a religious person at all. Okay. just let everybody know. No, this is the first time I ever actually did this, so this will be interesting. My calamity is my providence. Here he suggests that what may seem like calamity or adversity from a human perspective is actually part of God's providence or divine plan. That implies that even though we face difficulties, trials in life, they serve as a high purpose ordained by God. Then outwardly is fire and vengeance. This line suggests that the surface of challenges, hardships may appear harsh and punitive, akin to fire and vengeance. This reflects the outward perspective of trials, which can be daunting and painful. But inwardly, so this is the next part, but inwardly is the light and mercy. Here reveals the deeper truth behind the suffering. Despite the outward appearance of adversity, it holds an inner reality of light and mercy. This implies through hardship, there is an opportunity for spiritual growth, enlightenment, and the manifestation of divine mercy. The last part is, hasten throughout thou, that thou mayest become eternal light and immortal spirit. Urges individuals to embrace the understanding and to strive towards spiritual transformation by recognizing that deeper significance of suffering and hardship. One can transcend earthly limitations and attain spiritual enlightenment and become an eternal light and an immortal spirit through suffering.
That's dope.
So, like, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely is. Yeah.
And it's funny, so it's the Church of Jamey. You put a post up, and this is remarkable. So I'm gonna run this real quick. All within 4 months of each other. This is you. All within 4 months of each other. This is 2022. I had my brother get murdered. My dad almost died, and had to have a heart surgery. My 10-year-old dog tore his ACL. I've moved my whole life into a new gym and started a business, and all at the same time split up with my fiance and was living out of my car in the darkest mental place I've ever been. Yeah. I can't imagine that that would not put you in like the darkest valley.
Dude, but
you follow up with this, and then I'll have you talk on this because I got a question about this. I told you I was just gonna like talk away on this first bit because I wanted to kind of give the audience the idea of like what these questions are about. As of right now, I can say I'm in the best place I've ever been in my entire life, physically, mentally, and I have so much gratitude for everyone around me that stuck close and offered any help while I was going through it all. Dude.
It was a crazy time, man. It was just back to the wall,
Dude, start with how the fuck did you not crumble?
It was like a fight or flight thing, It was like, well, I can run from all this, or I can just face it head on and make the best of it. I think resistance creates men, So I was like, we're going to see what happens, but I know I'm going forward until I can't, you know? So like, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. I think I thrive in those situations, you know? Just the 2024 has been kind of off to a crazy start as well. Like that same dog, the 10-year-old dog at that time. Yeah, it was, he just passed recently, had that dog like for like the last 13 years. So that was really hard, you know, That's pretty fresh. But yeah, like I got this whole face tattooed on my stomach and stuff, you know, it was tough, man. That was tough. But that whole situation, man, I look back on it and I'm like, I don't know if I would be here without all that happening, right? Like, I don't know, like if none of that happened and everything was just good, right? I don't know if that would have happened. I don't know, like, that fire that put under me, you know? It was being in that situation, like, if I don't make something of this, like, I'm going to be fucked, you know? Like, I have no choice, you know? And I think it just puts you in that type of position where it's like you have to be very intentional, you know? And that's where I was, you know? I was like, all right, like, every move, every step I take from this point has to be very precise, you know?
What gave you that perspective? Is it fighting? Did you start fighting like early on?
Yeah, so like I competed like closer to 10 years ago. And I did that in a gym called Arnold BJJ and under two coaches called Kirk Huff and Joe Mueller, two very, very, very established fighters and coaches. And even when I was doing the whole time I was training for fights and stuff like that, I was just taking people under my wing and I was coaching them. I had a lot of buddies that were a little overweight. So like they'd come to the gym with me. I just train all day, you know? So like they'd come to the gym with me. I would train these guys, you know? And that's kind of how it took off into, I just kind of got put into this coaching role. I didn't even try to do it. It was just like, I was doing this already. So it was like, well, if you want to hang out with me, I'm going to be at the gym, you know? So like a lot of people would be like, all right, well, I'll come hang out, you know? And then they'd end up working out and then they started liking it. And then that started happening. I did that with multiple different people. And then it just got to the point where like, I had people like, they started like refuse to let me do it for free. They're like, no, I'm paying you. They're like, I've had personal trainers before and like, you're the best personal trainer I've ever had. And you're doing this for free. They're like, I'm going to pay you, you know? So that's when I was like, it never even crossed my mind, dude. I was just doing it out of love, you know? And I was like, damn, so like I could do this for a living. I love this. I could do this for a living. And that was kind of that switch from like wanting to, you know, invest every day into training myself. And then it kind of transitioned into being like, I want to help other people. You know, that's where like at that time, I was like, this is so sick. I didn't even know that if I could pay my bills and do this, as long as I could get by, I'm going to be the happiest guy ever. You know, if I can pay my bills, I don't care about getting rich off this. I just love it. So it's like, as long as I can get by doing this, like, that's amazing, you know?
What did you think you would do, like, outside of that, if you weren't getting paid to do that?
So at the time, I was selling insurance, bro. It's hard for people to see this now because I'm, like, covered in tattoos. But at the time, yeah, I got a license and I was selling insurance. And it was good money, but it was like, man, it was so soul-sucking, bro. It was just, like, to sit there and just talk to people that were so unhappy. Most of the time, you're trying to sell insurance to these people, you end up turning them down, so they're pissed off. And it was just very unhappy people. The energy was just very, like, it just wasn't for me. Like, my coaches, the guys that were training me and stuff, like Mike Perriou, and they awesome dudes. Like, now that dude's killing. He's got like multiple Lamborghinis and stuff. He's doing great, you know. So
that's dope.
Props to that dude. He was always good. Always looked out for me and stuff too. But I think they understood when I left. It was just like it's not me. It doesn't feel
like when I've been to a lot of these fights, I see you like corner all these boxers, dude.
Oh yeah.
Out there, kickboxers, MMA guys.
Oh, yeah.
And you look like you're in your fucking element there.
Dude, yeah.
That's exactly where you need to be. I could not see you doing
same, bro.
I could not see you doing that.
I'm like, dude, yeah, like it's
or maybe I could because you're a really nice guy and you like you're like very, very, very approachable person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and that's like the biggest thing too with the church is like people that see me online and they haven't met me yet, you know? And I end up, you know, they'll call in and inquiring about, you know, when to train, and they talk to me and they're like, you know, like, I was really nervous about this phone call. And I'm like, why? I don't know. You seem really intimidating on the internet. And I'm like, oh yeah, no. I was like, I'm like the happiest, nicest, like just like happy-go-lucky dude ever. Violent as they come, but you know.
Yeah.
Like
Do you think to some degree though, like this pain and this understanding of fighting has given you this ability?
Absolutely.
To be nice like that?
I think the biggest thing I think is just having an outlet, right? Like I think people that have outlets are able to just be a little bit more in that element. You know, it's like the people that don't have that that output or that outlet rather, they're just like, you know what I'm saying? They're all pissed, you know what I'm saying? They're all angry all the time. For me, I've had that outlet most of my life. I've been training since I was a little kid, you know? So like it started with football, you know, and then it got into more like MMA stuff, you know, props to Andrew Ebers, who owns Wolves Den.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a gym owner out there in like Wentzville, but he got me into it pretty early, you know. He was competing in jiu-jitsu and stuff, and so like I just fell in love with it, you know, and just having that outlet, man, is like.
Yeah, why do you think that is, dude? That's unbelievably true. Yeah. Like that's been at least unimaginably true for me,
Absolutely.
And it just seems to be true for everybody that is successful, and holds that dichotomy. You know,
definitely.
In any case, like why? But like why? Why do we need an out? You definitely do. Whatever you need to let out, you need to let it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you see what happens to people when they don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like they just turn into a ball.
Yeah, they bottle up, you know.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think a lot of it is, you know, as a human being, it's natural to be frustrated. You know, it's natural to want to like punch something. It's natural. That's a natural thing that everybody carries, you know, day to day. But if you don't have that outlet to be able to let that, you know, everybody's going to have moments where they're mad. Everybody's going to have moments where they're just like, you know, they have anxiety or they're, you know, feeling like maybe a little bit more under pressure or like, you know, so not having that outlet, it's like, how do you get that out without having that outlet?
Yeah.
So if you don't have that outlet, it builds and builds and builds and builds. And next thing you know, you shoot your neighbor, and then you're
oh, dude, seriously.
Yeah,
you're eating their dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now I'm doing bath salts in the river.
No, you're 100% right. That bitch is gonna come out.
Dude,
somewhere.
it is, man. Yeah.
It's gonna come out. Do you think and it's gonna come out physically?
Absolutely.
Like, why do you think that there's a? Why do you think it has to be a physical thing? Do you think that you can do it mentally? Do you think meditation alone?
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. I think meditation is great, and I think people that find meditation can handle it within.
You think so?
Yeah, I think.
The meditation you can handle.
I think there's some real shit to that. Yeah, for sure. I think there's some, you know, meditation yoga. You know, like being able to keep it, or you know, even just like something like, oh, like I'm gonna write a song, or I'm gonna, you know, draw a picture or something. You know, but. A lot of people don't have that outlet, or they don't have that ability to like understand, like, okay, like what I'm feeling right now, I can take this and apply it to something that I can get better at, right? So like, it's like all energy. This is how my dad always taught me. He's like, all energy can be good energy. If I'm angry and I go to the gym, I'm gonna fucking kill it because I'm pissed off, right? If I'm having a day where I'm feeling a little bit anxious, I'm gonna get in the gym. I'm gonna shut that shit off. I'm gonna go to work. I have a good day. I just found out I'm getting a raise or something, right? And I'm stoked. I'm going to the gym. I'm in a good mood. Right? So like to me, like the way that my dad taught me is all energy is good energy. That's how I train all my fighters. I'm like, they come in tired. I'm like, nah, fuck that, dude. Like I need to use that shit. You're having a bad day. Your car broke down. Like you're pissed off, right? That's energy, bro. That's energy. That's fuel, you know?
Man. Yeah, dude, like in the way that you like transfer your energy to them, dude, and like you have to kind of, like you were saying, you have to kind of switch it a little bit.
Exactly, yeah.
Dude, how do you balance like this freaking nice Jamey right here, this guy who's just bubbly to like it's time to murder?
I put a ski mask on.
You put it on, dude.
I swear to God, I do, man. I put this. They know I put the ski mask on. No.
That's awesome.
It's really like I think I've dialed in just that switch happening. Okay. I think people know too because I'm very energy based, and the way I walk in a room, I'm very like, you know, or I'm walking in the room and I'm like, all right, like if it's a Shark Tank day, right, which is the last spar that we have before we go into the fight.
Shark Tank Day?
Yeah,
so awesome.
A Shark Tank Day is basically where if you're in a fight camp, it's your last spar, right, about a week out from your fight, and I get my 6 of my best guys. And they each got 1 minute on you. And you got to stand for 6 minutes. And you get a new guy every minute, and they're not being nice. They are not being nice, you know. So it gets real. You learn a lot about yourself, dude. Like, Shark Tanks show me more about a fighter than any fight that you could have in the cage. Like
Why
these
is that?
are, because these are way gnarlier, bro. It's only 6 minutes, dude, but we're talking. It's literally like getting jumped by the 6 best fighters I got in my gym, compared to going and fighting one guy.
Oh my God, dude, that sounds amazing.
It's like, intense.
Why do you learn more? Why do you learn more about them? Like, what do you learn about them?
Because there's no way it goes good for you, and that's why we do it. We do it. We just, I would rather figure out that you don't have it here than out there. Man. Yeah.
Like, so you just do this. This is kind of like this is how you get jumped in.
Yeah. It's yeah. People be like, it's not a cult. No.
No. Dude, to some degree, you gotta kind of be a cult, right?
No, for sure.
There's gotta be standard. There's gotta be standards. You talked about standards.
Definitely.
Because everybody sort of like gives shit to folks who have like very strong communities.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reason why a community is strong is because it holds standards.
Exactly.
And that's it. That's all it is.
Exactly.
It's like, this is what we accept.
100%.
Because this is who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
If you accepted anybody's level of standard, there would be no real tight community.
Exactly.
You'll have to hold the same.
Right. It's what makes it what it is.
Yeah,
for sure.
So like you get all this shit like about people that talk about like every brand is a fucking cult.
I mean, essentially, yeah. It's like it's just a community of people that are very loyal to the brand and to everybody else. But if anybody that knows me in there, like I'm the last person that's like, I want to be this like cult leader god guy. Like, dude, I want to share this with everybody. I'm not like the guy that's trying to like, I'm not selfish in that sense. I'm trying to put everybody up on this pedestal. I'm trying to create more leaders. I'm not trying to be like the main leader guy that's like, I'm like, fuck all that. Let's share this, like, believe in me, I believe in you type shit.
Dude, I've known you for 10 minutes and I believe that out of you 100%, dude. There's absolutely no doubt. Yeah. And dude, like, do you get people who think you're trying to be that guy?
Dude,
it's like,
it's really people that don't know me, like more so, like people that don't know me that just kind of make assumptions. Or it's people like I've had some members, unfortunately, that have come in the gym and they've had like issues with other people in the gym, and because I wouldn't take sides, I'm like they're trying to play like the sides game, and I'm like, no, like I'm a fucking grown man, like I'm not gonna play sides with you. Like everybody here is, if you have an issue with somebody, I mean, it's safe to say that when you have 100 members or more in anything, there's gonna be some issues here and there, right? People can get in their feelings, and this person might not vibe with this person, and I'd like to think more than most gyms, we do have like that community vibe, but getting that in that process of, it's we've had to weed some people out. So I've definitely had people that have made assumptions about me, and it is what it is, man. It's like, I don't care what you think about me. I am who I am. I'm the same guy every day. Like people that know me.
100%. Like I don't really change like who. This is why fundamentally I'd get fired from any other job than like owning my own gym, because I would because like I'm not gonna. You got to do this. Like when you're dude. It's like this is gonna be who I'm gonna be when I'm gonna be.
If I'm a triangle, I'm going in the triangle square. I'm not shape shifting for nobody. Like
dude, like I like dressing up sometimes, but I don't like dressing up every day. So sometimes I'm like I'm gonna show up how I'm gonna show up, and I just. That's freedom to me,
bro. I am in flip flops, short shorts, and most of the time I don't have a shirt on. So I pretty much, people walk in the gym, they're like, holy fuck, this is like Tarzan or something. Yeah, I'm like, that's how I've been my whole life though. Yeah. I could tell you literally from the time I was like 5 or 6 years old, my mom the words I've heard out of my mom's mouth probably more than anything as a kid is, where's your shirt? Where's your shoes? I lost them outside. I walk outside, they're gone, dude. I'm like,
dude. So when you were younger, you were outside. You were running around.
Dude, I lived outside. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I was outdoors all the time. Yeah.
There's something about like I remember I have this thought of like rolling around like in the mud, and I remember like these kids, because I came up poor, dude. You know, so
same.
I'm just out there, and I'm just out there in the elements, man. And one day, I remember once I was young, I was at the park, it just rained, and there was a mud puddle, and I was just by myself walking to the park, and I just started playing in that mud, dude. And
so much fun.
I was covered in mud.
Yeah.
And it was, you should not be doing, like, your kid is out there fucking covered in mud. It's like, dude, I imagine what people were thinking of me. Dude. I was probably like 12 or 14 or whatever. Anywho, I just remember hearing this person going like, just like looking at me and just kind of being like, man, where's that kid's parents? And I'm like so happy my parents weren't there, because like that was just rolling around in that mud,
dude.
Man.
It was amazing. And here we are, like what, 20, 30 years later, come and find out now there's places you got to go pay to go get in some mud, and you're like, oh, it's good for you. I'm like, I told you guys. I've been trying to tell you this for so long.
That's exactly
what the hell, man?
Dude, that's 100%. It's like, I always tell people, look, we're going to do some monkey bars. Well, what the fuck you do? Where do you do monkey bars in real life? I'm like, you don't. That's the problem.
Right, exactly. That's why we're doing them.
That's why we're doing them here, man. It gives you fucking life, man. It lets
100%, man.
It's like, as you get older, it seems like people like, you gotta fit, and you gotta kill that part of you that's fun, and it's
dude,
like,
fuck that, dude. I'm the biggest kid ever, dude. Yeah. I'm the biggest kid ever. Like, I've matured in the right ways, but
right.
You're never gonna take, like, my dad's 91, right? They settled down a lot later, and dude, he's like the biggest kid ever. Mature as hell, can hit that switch when he needs to, but yeah.
That's it. That's really it, right? It's like. I'm not gonna muzzle myself for anyone, dude. No. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be fucking me, dude.
I'm gonna be happy,
and I'm gonna be happy with that. But like, dude, there's like, I think like it's being a fucking warrior in the garden, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, know how to be in the garden.
100%.
Like when you're in the garden, and then know when to be a warrior when you need to be a warrior.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I feel like the champions really are the ones. And this is a good way to go into this next bit, because I got a bunch of I took some quotes from like different boxers, because I thought it would be a good fodder for the conversation.
Yeah, totally.
But like, I feel like it's a matter of you being able to be aware of when it's time to be that, and then do it when it's time, and then don't do it when it's not. So Muhammad Ali, we'll go with.
Let's go.
All right. He says, champions aren't made in the gyms. Champions are made from something that is deeper inside them, a desire, a dream, a vision. Is the Church of Jamey your dream, your vision?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely. It's the first thing that really made me feel 100% like I've found my home. I know what I'm supposed to do, right? And it's a big there's a lot of retrospect there, because it's like it could be in so many different ways, but I just know that helping people makes me feel alive. So in whatever way I do that, right, that's where I want to be, right? Whether it's mentally, like a good conversation, whether it's in a physical way, like making somebody work out, maybe teaching somebody how to defend themselves to make them feel confident about themselves, whatever it is, right? I'm so here for that, To me, I've always been somebody that wants to give more, Yeah. And I of course, everybody likes getting gifts, and I appreciate the gifts. That's never been me as far as like what I would prefer. I would much rather give, and it's great because right now I'm in like the healthiest relationship of my life with the girl that's exactly like I am. So we're both just like, we're givers, man. We end up just giving so much to each other, and it's just such an abundance,
Yeah, dude. They say like any like relationship, any team, like if I am willing to like go out of my way, like and to the detriment of myself, help you, and you do the same for me.
Absolutely.
Dude, the only way you can break that team is to kill those motherfuckers.
100%.
That was a reel, by the way, that was an Instagram reel. That wasn't me. I wish it was me. This guy, damn it. but this guy, but I totally believe it. He's like this Navy SEAL guy. He's got a beard like down to here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you maybe seen that guy.
Oh yeah.
But he's just this crazy guy, and he's all this really good shit. But I believe that 100%, man.
Absolutely.
And so like if you have a team, a community like that, like you cannot be broken, man.
No.
Dude, like, so that's interesting, because like this seems to be true for most people, and it seems to be true for you, is that like, you were just being you 100%.
Yeah.
And you were just like kind of following your, like, it's not really intentional.
Yeah. I was blind as fuck, dude. I was just like, I knew I was really just, it was so day to day for me. Everything was day to day. I was like, okay, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But everything I did, I loved. I loved to do it. And it was crazy, because I was never doing these things like, oh, I'm going to do this because one day I'm going to make a bunch of money. And I'm going to, I was just like trying to be happy on a daily basis. And through that, just being pure and being genuine, doing the things I loved, trying to get people involved with the things I loved, because maybe they would love those things too, right? That's where it found me. And to me, it happened so organically, because I was like, I never planned on doing this. This was never my plan to be a coach or train people or run a fight gym. That was never the plan. I just wanted to be happy every day. So like through doing that, through doing the things that make me happy, that's kind of like it found me,
So you can't. It's like, so it kind of brings me to this, because I'm fascinated by this. Like, what creates a champion? You know, what creates a champion?
I would say discipline and consistency are going to be your two biggest ones. Really, is because you know you're going to get a lot of the confidence and a lot of the ability to adjust by showing up every day. Because every day is not going to be great, right? But if you show up every day, right, and you're disciplined, right, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. You could take a guy who is so unathletic, and I've seen this so many times. You take a guy who's unathletic and you take a guy who's very athletic. And if that unathletic guy is disciplined and more consistent than the athletic guy, you're going to see him pass him up. It's like a turtle and a rabbit, right? Like, you're going to see that switch. I've seen it so many times. I've seen dudes that were like, had no business competing, and now that's like they're like one of the best guys in the gym, you know? And it's just like, wow, like that's crazy. So to me, it's like that athleticism can almost hurt you if you don't have that discipline and consistency, because it comes easier.
Oh, that's interesting. Like, so if you're somebody who's just like almost naturally gifted, you could like lose the mental side of it.
Dude, it's really a curse for a lot of people. Very rarely do you see somebody with that just insane natural athleticism. At least in my viewing growing up, the most athletic kids that I knew, like that I playing football and stuff, dude, they were like the laziest people ever, because it was so easy for them.
Yeah.
They didn't do the extra work. They didn't do the road work. They weren't eating perfect. They're like, man, I can do this barely training, barely do it. You know, I don't have to do as much as you guys, right? And I'm still better than you, right? But that has an expiration date, you know.
Dude, so those people, those underdogs who those guys, they see those guys piss them off. It puts like a chip on their shoulder.
Oh,
and they
absolutely.
Just first person in the gym, last person out.
It's them quiet dudes that just they just put their head down and work, bro. Man. Those are my favorite people ever. Are those just dudes that just no questions. You say this, that, yep, and they're on it. You know, it's like. It's amazing.
What do you think makes these types of people, man? Do they have paths similar to yours, you think? Is there a certain type of beginning that crafts these types of people?
Yeah, I think it kind of falls into just being like some people, like, you know, like you say, like you're a know-it-all, right? Like that'd be a way that I could use that. Like, some people just think they're like, well, we're like, and then they ask questions. It's having that trust, right? Being able to put your trust in someone and just, regardless, you're going to be like, I trust you, I believe in you, and I'm going to do whatever you say. There's no questions. There's no doubt. There's no, you know what I'm saying? It's just having that, like the Mike Tyson and Cus D'Amato. There was no question about anything that Cus D'Amato, you know, taught Tyson. It was just full commitment, full trust, you know?
Dude, all the way to like, he did some hypnotherapy, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Where like, it was almost just like, dude, I am the fucking world champion.
Yeah.
I'm going to believe this, like all the way down to just whatever
manifestation.
We need to do. Yeah. Like, I'm going to just fucking believe this thing is true. Like, I believe I can tie my shoe. I'm going to believe I'm the world champion.
Exactly. Just the law of attraction.
Man, it's so, it always comes like to the mind. What kind of do you think these people have like this high level of accountability that like allows them to like go into like these situations, maybe get their ass beat, see all these people that are better than them? They don't get what role do you think accountability plays in like a successful fighter? Or a successful person?
I would say like it kind of just falls back on like the consistency and the discipline thing, right? Because it's like you could show it, like, and fighting is the hardest. It's got to be the hardest, dude. Because you're showing up and you're in a room full of people that are better than you, and they're not just better than you like at basketball. You're getting beat up. You're getting punched. You're getting kicked. You know, so it takes a special type of person to keep showing up and just have that faith. And hold themselves accountable and keep that consistency, keep that discipline, and keep showing up. And it's crazy because it's like the hammer and the nail, you know. And eventually it's like, you know, it just happens one day. And it's you come in and there's that day where you're like, holy shit, that person kicks my ass every time. And I feel like I held my own with them today. Yeah. And then next thing you know, a couple months goes down and now you're one of the killers in the gym, you know. But nobody can jump that line. Nobody can jump that line, and you'll never, ever be able to stay in that line unless you keep yourself accountable and you're able to stay consistent and stay disciplined, you know?
Man, dude, when you were in like that deep valley, that darkness, dude, and you were starting a new gym, you know, this is just kind of to illustrate kind of the point. I want to kind of ask you just like how you continue to maintain the faith, because you mentioned faith. You got to have this unwavering faith in yourself.
Yeah.
In moments of those dark times,
100%,
when it's seemingly impossible, everything is failing around you. Even nobody's on your side at the time.
Right.
You feel alone. Like every indication is that you are not gonna make it.
Yeah.
How do you continue to have faith? Because you have to.
I think the biggest thing is just being, you know, having that intuition, being intuitive with yourself, you know, because for me, my opinion matters more to me than everybody else's. And like, I don't mean that in like a selfish way. I just mean that in I value the way that I think, and I value what I believe a lot. Right. So for me, I don't need 100 people to tell me something that I already know. You know, I don't need 100 people to tell me something I don't know that I do know, you know? Yeah. So like, I don't care what you guys believe. I don't care if you do believe, because I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know who I am. I know where I'm going. If you guys don't, that's fine. You'll figure it out, and, you know, on the other side, like, you'll see it, you know? But like, just having that committed faith to yourself and belief. I think belief is everything, because you could be doing something and be like, I'm going to do this. But if there's any doubt whatsoever, it's like, it's very hard to cross that bridge. You got to just be able to like walk on coals and be like, yep, I got this, you know?
Dude, I always say if you're 99% in, you're 100% out.
Yes.
You can't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's full commitment. Yeah,
look, if you take a boat out on the water, you can't have any, it's got to be 100% solid, because even the smallest leak will sink the boat.
Or like an airplane. One thing goes, like the smallest thing goes off, bro.
Yeah, dude, you're 100% in. It's like, that's life, dude. Like,
it is,
you know, like find that thing for you.
Exactly.
Be 100% in.
Exactly.
And just fucking go, because and then it's just a matter now of just believe, because like you're gonna win at your game. I feel.
Yeah.
You know, if you try to play somebody else's game, they're gonna destroy you every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you play your own game, nobody can beat you in your game.
Exactly.
You know, so just as long as this is your game, I have this feeling, at least this thought, and it's nice, because every time something gets crazy, I just go back to like, look, it's all good. I'm gonna die one day. Fuck all this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, that's where I'm at, bro. It's like, look, all right, you know, this may not gone my way, but it doesn't change the way I'm going, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
no, 100%. And dude, truly, like, I feel like it's the spirit, man. It's like if you have this thought, like, man, it's not really about what I'm trying to do. It's just that like I'm doing exactly what I want to do.
Exactly.
And I'm going 100 miles an hour doing what I want to do. Take my gym, take my trainers, take my money, take my car. Take everything. Now this one would really hurt. Take my wife. Yeah. That would really hurt. Like that would really be very difficult.
Yeah. That's gonna be a tough one. Yeah. Like, I'm with you there, man.
Don't do that. But
please God.
Right. But like take it all away, dude. There's like the very core sense of like what I am. Like my essence is move forward in what I am.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
just move forward in that. Like, and as long as I'm doing that, that's like the sort of the peace for me to some degree, no matter what situation.
100%. The materials and just the friends and the, you know, the girlfriends and the, you know, everything like that. Like that doesn't change anything of who you are. Yeah. You strip me of everything, I'm still this guy. Like I'm not going to lose this because I lose that. You know what I'm saying? I'm this regardless. If I'm homeless on the street right now, I'm this guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
Do you think to some degree like that mentality that like it doesn't matter? I'm not, dude, whether I win the fight or lose the fight, I'm still going 1,000,000%.
Absolutely.
Do you think that makes a great fighter? Do you think that makes a great person? That you have to think about it like this is just this is the essence of what I am. I'm not a champion fighter. I am just a fucking champion.
Yeah, and that's like it makes some of the best fighters is those guys that really don't care about win or lose, but they're gonna give everything they got. They're gonna leave every piece of themselves in there. And I think the fighters that do are like they're so like focused on win. It's like, bro, you're going to learn more in those losses than those wins. And a lot of those people want to take fights because they want to win fights. And it's like, no, dude, you need to take fights because you want to better yourself and you want to leave 100% of yourself out there because that's how you grow, whether that's in a win or a loss. Like, most of the time, though, those losses, that's where you really get to see who people are, you know, and you really get to see what they're about, you know.
Yeah, you got to learn how to lose, man.
It's huge, man.
Yeah, that just takes you losing and not knowing how to lose for a while. Some people, like, I feel like, you know, I can't tell you, like, I have a perspective of around like you basically you win or learn, man.
Yeah,
you fucking win or learn.
Absolutely.
There is not a single bad situation. There is a situation I've learned that I have now gained.
Exactly.
Because now I've learned. Now I'm one step ahead because I just failed terribly.
100%. And I think like a lot of that stems from, you know, like your childhood, your youth, because nowadays, man, there's too much of that fucking participation trophy shit. You gotta learn how to fucking lose. Like, hey, kids, you didn't fucking win. We didn't do enough. We'll get them next time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, they're like, no, like, I don't know. That's maybe like just be the way my dad kind of, you know, taught me and stuff. But it's like, you need to learn how to like take that loss and let it fuel you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if it's just like, oh, I lost, blah, 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 you're never going to take it serious, right? It's just going to be one of those things. Or you're going to be one of those kids that's just like, you can't lose, and like you get mad, you play a board game, and now you're freaking mad and shit. You know, it's like you got to be able to learn. You got to be able to lose, you know, or learn rather. You know. And
actually, if to your point, that's interesting. It's like if that dude, like I let's say you're not good at the board game, you lose at the board game, and you've got to win at everything. That pissed you off. You lose your mind. You're like, well, I'm not. I hate that board game. Then cognitive dissonance like just takes over.
And now you're decreasing. Yeah, you're digressing.
You'll never win that board game now because now you're literally just saying like, oh, I hate that board game.
Exactly.
That board game's stupid. But really, you're just not willing to fail.
That's it.
Dude, the power in that. I know it's a cliche, but like, if people could have the courage to fail on a regular basis and just be present to how shit that feels.
100%. I think you'll get farther in life obsessing over losing than anything. It's like, because how, like, you're gonna grow so much more in those situations, and that resistance, you know, is like it builds you. So just being one of those people that's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna leave 100% of myself in here. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna suck at it, but I'm gonna give it my all. And eventually I'm not gonna suck at it, and it's not gonna change anything. I'm gonna give it my all even then, you know. It's like, just,
dude, no, 100%. And I feel like, do you think it's possible to craft that mindset? Without like feeling suffering before, feeling the pain of, because that's pain, man.
Yeah.
That pain and suffering that you go through is the fuel to get you to this place. It seems.
Exactly. I think it's a two-way street, right? I think it's like you can feel that pain and you can literally go, I don't want to feel this anymore. Yeah. Or you can feel that pain, you can go, fuck that, I'm getting that back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fuck that. I'm going to grow from this shit, you know? Dude. It's like, just, you can go up or down, you know?
100%. Like, just a quick story on this, because you just brought this up. So I'm training for a 130 mile race in under 24 hours running. So that's in April. It's gonna be fucking badass. The Lions Roar a 24-hour race. It's gonna be nuts. Damn. But I had a 40-mile run last weekend. So last weekend I had a 40-mile run. And to challenge the mind, because I knew I could do the 40 miles. It was gonna take me 7.5 hours. But I was like, I want to challenge my mind, because it's the physical challenge is hard, yes.
Yeah.
The mental challenge is far harder.
Oh my God.
And so I wanted to add to it. And so basically, no headphones. I went around a 2.5 mile track, the one that's over there by Slough.
Yeah.
You know, and I did that. I started at like 10 a.m. because I got a little bit, I wanted to get sleep. I was going to start earlier, but I was like, fuck, I'm doing 10 a.m. So I got there at 10 a.m. So the time frame was like sort of an easy time frame. It was like 34 degrees.
Yeah.
I just started going around in a circle, 160 rounds. And while I was doing that, my fucking mind was going insane.
Oh, yeah.
It was going fucking insane. And people are like, why would you do that? And one, I'm trying to do 130 miles in 24 hours. Why would you do that? Because I'm trying to do 200 miles in under 48 hours for benefit in April. And so that's why I'm doing it.
That's crazy.
So it's a bit bigger than just trying to overcome something. I want to do something remarkable, and 200 miles under 48 hours is insane.
I didn't even know anybody's done that.
Yeah, I don't even. I have not looked into it. I'm not looking into it.
200 miles.
I'm not looking into it because I don't give a shit. You know, it's like one of those things. Like I don't care whether it's possible or not. I'm going for it. You know.
Yeah, he's and like, I'm going to New Jersey. I'll see you in 2 days.
so the idea is that the benefit is from my mother-in-law. She got this aggressive bone cancer. So damn. And it's been difficult.
Yeah.
So like I want to do something that's like, you know, if dude, I can do 100 miles. I can do 200 miles in 48 hours if you can deal with this. And also
that's awesome.
To bring to and try to help. The thing is to start 48 hours before the event and then show up at the event. So that way it's like, I can't miss the event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In 48 hours.
Dude, that's so sick.
So I'm just going to do it and see.
Are you going to document it?
I am. Yeah. I'm going to have a guy following me with the camera
so sick,
and like, it's like I'm not gonna miss it. I'm not gonna miss it.
Oh yeah, no.
I gotta make it. I didn't check in to see if anybody can do it. I don't even know if this is physically possible. I'm not going to.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna be watching, bro.
Dude, yeah. So I'll be sort of announcing it and shit. But the idea was this: is that I was going around that track, dude. My body's fucking knees hurt, ankles hurt, backs hurt, fucking everything's hurt. My mind's going insane, dude. Just being like, dude, you're fucking stupid. Stop doing this. All the shit that you would imagine.
Yeah.
I'm starting to count every window of every building that's around this 1 mile. So I'm just like, there's like 125 buildings. And I'm just doing that just to keep my mind on track. But it starts getting so painful. You've been doing it for so many hours that eventually, like, I just started to say this to myself, and this helped so much. And I don't know why, but like, take whatever you can get out of this. I've still been trying to unpack this. This was only a few days ago, or it was only, this was only Saturday last week. But basically, I was just saying the essence of what I am is pain. I'm not experiencing pain. I am pain.
Yeah.
This pain is energy. I am energy.
Absolutely.
Like, this is good. This is fueling me to change the world, to help people live a better life, or at least live a better life for what they have left.
Absolutely, man.
Be an inspiration for the people around me through the pain that I am, not the pain that I'm getting.
Exactly.
And like, so if I am in essence pain and suffering, then you cannot defeat me. I cannot stop. I will not stop.
I love it, dude.
And I don't know why that became a mantra. The essence of what I am is pain. I'm not experiencing pain. All of this that's happening, it's good.
Absolutely.
This is my energy. I want more of this. What do you got?
I love it, dude.
And that got me through 7.5 hours. And also, I'm doing a challenge where we're doing 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 100 sit-ups. So I did that before the 40-mile run. Shit. So like, I'm not trying to say that about me. I didn't mean to make it about me, but the thing that went through my head to get me through that was like kind of psychotic to most people. Would think that's insane.
Yeah,
but
dude.
like you're like, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I connect with that so much, and I think it's everything is perspective, right? I'm gonna embrace this suffering, right, and I'm gonna be stoked to feel it, right? It reminds me that I'm human, you know. It reminds me that I'm human, but also embracing this suffering and being able to have that perspective of I'm getting better. I'm growing. I'm getting stronger. I'm unbreakable. There's nothing that can stop me, you know? Yeah. And being able to have that perspective, that's those guys that you see out there that they're unbreakable. To them, there's nothing they can't do, you know? And it's not like that because they're arrogant. They're like that because they have that perspective. You know, it's deep, dude.
Yeah, it is deep, and like that's the thing. And you know, there's a bit of science on post-traumatic growth. Yeah. And so here's the important part for all the people that would be like, "You guys are masochists." It's like we like to hang ourselves with hooks and shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's pretty deep, bro. They're like, "Oh, it's the most peaceful part of my day." I'm like, well, that's pretty intense.
You guys are fucking insane. For real? No. But like so this post-traumatic growth, there's a really good book called The Power of Moments. Like after, you know, and at the end they talk about the science of post-traumatic growth. And I don't know really why. It's the authors go into it, but The Power of Moments is a good book, and it talks about how most of your moments are over after 25 that are like given to you. Like you get married, usually get a house, or whatever. You graduate school, you graduate college. All of them are these moments for you in life are sort of given to you, prom or whatever the fuck. Yeah. But these are kind of just part of the thing. And then after 25, it's like people sort of live in their 20s because they don't make moments for themselves. And so it's a really good book called Making Moments. It's also great for business owners. Okay. So anybody who wants to listen to that book, badass book. At the end of it, talks about the science of post-traumatic growth. And the idea is this. They studied all these people that dealt with trauma. So in psychology, they know that after the age of 26 years old, it's very difficult to have any form of behavior change without some form of trauma. And there's two types. There's self-induced trauma and there's non-self-induced trauma. So non-self-induced trauma would be like you're in the car with your family, their car hits you. All of your family dies but you. It was a drunk driver, let's say.
Oh, yeah.
This was not self-induced. And so it's going to be perspective alone on what direction you go. About 95% of the time, that person will go down and never come back. Like they will like their behaviors will go to fuck life. Yeah. Life doesn't matter. I don't matter. Fuck right. Bad.
Yeah.
But perspective on the non-self-induced trauma, that makes it so 95% not good.
Yeah.
5% basically look at it like this. This is completely fucked. What we're talking about. This is completely fucked. But only perspective alone. Like, I don't want anyone else to die from a drunk driver. I will dedicate my life to getting a message out.
Yeah.
And that will create champion person. Because it's going to be like, I'm going to do everything in my power to get a message out to get less drunk drivers on the road, let's say. Because I don't want any family to have to feel this, right? Same exact situation, but they used their strength with their perspective alone to like become better post-traumatic growth. 95% of people go the opposite way. This is a matter of strength of mind and seeing and shaping your perspective around your experiences. Yeah. And then there's self-induced trauma, which is like the way that you would like to change your behaviors because you don't want to lose your family in a car accident. But self-induced trauma, there's two types of self-induced trauma. Self-induced trauma, one, and this is perspective alone. Okay. I hate myself. Fuck myself. I'm just going to cut myself and throw myself down a staircase because fuck myself, you know? My perspective is I'm hurting myself. I'm putting myself through suffering because I deserve it. I'm shit. I'm worthless. That goes down until eventually bad. Yeah. And then there's self-induced trauma with the intention of better. And almost 100% of the time, almost, not always, but almost 100% of the time, if you put yourself through some form of trauma, let's say run 130 fucking miles on a 24 hours, with the intention of growth, with the perspective. Yeah. You almost always will improve.
I love it.
You almost 100% of the time, you almost always will improve. You almost always will change your behavior with the intention of, I will put myself through suffering. I don't want to go. I'm not motivated to run 40 miles on a weekend. I'm not, this is not like people, I wish I loved running like you. Like, I love it.
Right. Exactly. It's like, come on, man. I'm feeling what you're feeling too, man. It's just the fucking stuff here. Something's different up here, It's like.
So it's just wild. It's just wild that. So guys, everyone listen, we're not masochists, dude. There is so much good to come from putting yourself through this.
Yes. We're great dudes.
Come join our gym. Yeah, exactly. Dude, but anywho, that's awesome. I want to do that. That's the thing for me. Like you have inspired me with this. I want to do the Shark Tank and get my fucking ass whooped,
dude.
It's like I kind of want to do that.
Let's go, dude.
I want to see if I can make it, dude. I'm serious.
Let's go.
I'm serious. We got to set this up. I want to do the fuck. I don't know shit about fighting. I boxed a little bit. I want to go through it and I want to feel it.
Let's go. We'll do a couple privates first. We'll do a couple privates.
We know how to defend myself before I get knocked out.
Absolutely.
And die. I want to go through that. Because that, to me, the utility of that, for me, in my mind, is just like endless, and I fucking love that,
dude. I'm so into it. We could probably get the Matt, Vincent, Josh, and Sam all in the Shark Tank, dude.
Let's go. Let's go.
I love it. I'm so down, bro.
That would be fucking badass.
So down, bro.
Dude, hell yeah. All right, let's move on to the next quote. What kind of time we got? Okay, yeah, because you got to get out of here. Okay, dude. Fuck yeah, man. All right, Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the mouth.
Yep.
So why?
So I think
what does this mean?
I think it's bigger than even just like getting punched in the mouth, right? I think that's saying it's bigger than that, right? Just in the sense of like, okay, I have this plan. I'm going to do this. Plan gets fucking derailed, right? And it's like it's just like everything else we talked about, right? There's two ways that can go, right? You can learn from that and kind of 2.0 the next plan, or you can say, fuck it wasn't for me, I guess, Same thing with the whole thing, that he's saying there, and like in a physical matter, it's like you get punched in the face, it's very quickly to be like, you get caught good, it's very quickly to look for that exit and be like, I don't think this is for me, you know what I'm saying? Or, you can get punched in the face and you can adjust and adapt, So it's like most of the people that got punched by Mike Tyson found their exit pretty quickly, you know. Yeah, I can't say that, you know, most people out there wouldn't be on that end, you know, with him in there, but yeah, man, I think a lot of it just falls into like, you may go in there with the plan of I'm gonna beat this guy's ass, and then boom, and you're like, oh shit, this isn't going my way, this isn't, you know, and you can find your exit, or you can, you know, adapt and adjust.
Dude, it seems crazy. How many times you got to keep getting punched in the face before you can like try to think in that situation?
Oh, dude, it's quite a few, or I mean, you see it both. You see both sides.
Yeah, can you have? Are there people that are naturally inclined to just being able to continue focusing in on the fight after the fucking?
Absolutely, yeah. I train quite a few of them, right? So like, and I think that's the biggest thing is like being able to take that shot and not be so in your head about it, right? Whether it's a hard shot or what, it's one of those things where it's like, my motives, my mind is I'm going through you. So if I face a little bit of adversity, it doesn't change that. If I get fucking rocked, I'm still coming after you, you know, as opposed to on the other side, it's like, boom. And now all you're thinking about is every time I get hit, I'm so in my head about it. I'm not even thinking about the fact that I'm still hitting them, right? Now my mind is just focused on me getting hit. So they may hit me one time and I hit them 3 times and I don't even know it because I'm so fucking hyper-fixated on the punches I'm getting hit with. So being able to just take your shot, I'm getting it back. I'm not going to be fixated on the shots I'm getting hit with, but I'm going to be fixated on the shots I'm hitting them with. Oh my God. They hit me once, I'm hitting them 3 fucking times. Bah, bah, bah. I'm like, I got you back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that mentality, you know?
That's like that's well said from like a real boxer, somebody who trains. Are you primarily boxing? What's your primary?
So I did kickboxing and boxing. Never did MMA. The coaches that I was with at the time, they wanted me to get into MMA. One of my main training partners was Luis Pena, Violent Bob Ross. He ended up killing UFC. And I did like MMA spar with him. I did a little grapple boxing with him. This dude named Colton Cole, who is he fought in like Strike Force, was a pretty big name, trained with like Robbie Lawler and stuff. And so I did like train, like there was sessions that I would do that were like kind of MMA orientated, but I never ended up competing in MMA. I was always just, I loved striking. Mostly really boxing. I didn't get to box as much as I wanted to, but kickboxing, boxing and kickboxing. I just loved striking, man. I loved punching and I loved kicking, and that was always my thing.
Damn, dude. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, you're really like making me want to fucking go.
Dude, let's
start
do
doing
it.
Some
Yeah,
of this, man.
We'll definitely catch up on the outside for sure.
But dude, when people are coming down, I've always had this thought, like going to watch like these fights, man. When people are coming down the runway,
yeah,
and they get into the ring, some people are just like stoic. Some people are like super wild. Yeah. Is this intentional? Is this intentional for people when they go out? Like
I would say so.
Game?
I think there's some people that are like, okay, like I'm going to play that whole mental warfare thing. I'm going to get in their head. I'm going to make them nervous. I'm going to make the opponent anxious. I'm going to make them think about me. I'm going to make them, take them out of their game plan. The second I can make you think about me, you're not thinking about you, So if I can draw that mind, it can definitely work to your benefit. You've seen Conor McGregor do it. You've seen Muhammad Ali do it, right? But some guys do that, and really the whole time they're fucking nervous, and they just don't know how to deal with those nerves. So it's like it's kind of like detrimental in a way, because like you see those guys go out and they're all cocky and shit. But really, it's like they're just fucking super nervous, and then they end up getting fucked up, and then they look stupid, and then they probably don't fight again after that.
Yeah, dude. What percentage? If you were to put a percentage on it, because I know this is obviously nobody actually knows, but what percentage would you put on it in terms of like mindset to physical ability?
I would say professional level, you're going to see a little bit more. I'd say a little above the 50%. I'd say the amateur level below the 50%. A lot of the amateur level guys, like they don't quite know yet, right? Because they're a little bit newer to it, as to where the pros are like, man, I've been here, I've lost, I've been on that side, and I've kept going, so like, through that, you get that confidence,
Yeah, for the low end, for like the more amateur guys, like what is the characteristic that is physically most important to have, like endurance or skill?
I would say That's a good question, actually. I would say endurance. I mean, like, cardio is king, right? Cardio is king. Like, in my experience, everybody that's had really good cardio that I've trained have been really tough and really durable. You know, it's like the dudes that hate cardio, those are the guys that end up just quitting. They tap out and they're in the corner and like, I can't do it, you know, and then they wave the fight off or something like that. Cardio is king, man. Like, you'll never see anybody that has really good cardio that doesn't excel in that field because it's extremely cardio based, especially striking. Yeah. Striking is so cardio based. You know, you're going to be the most tired you've ever been. So usually being able to have good cardio is going to really make that suffering a little bit less, you know? So I think being able to thrive and go all out and just be at home, right? And to me, like, sprints, like doing a hill sprint, right, is like one of the closer ways that you could feel how it would feel to be between rounds in a fight. Like, your whole body you're out of breath, your muscles are dead, like sprints on an assault bike or something like that, you know, to be able to like translate into how you'd feel after a fight or between rounds in a fight without taking actual damage, you know?
No doubt. Dude, I heard Conor McGregor say this once, it sort of illustrated the point. He was like, I like doing like anaerobic, like like long duration cardio fasted so that I can get myself into a point of hypoglycemia and push through it. Absolutely. Because I want myself in fight or flight.
100%.
And I want to be trying to conduct my mind in fight or flight.
Yeah.
And I was like,
makes you
that's
hungry.
Fucking savage, dude.
Yeah, dude, it is.
Dude, it's fucking savage.
It is, bro.
It's like this is not about being healthy. This is about being a fucking savage.
And Khabib would be the best example of that I could come up with is where, like, everything he was doing in Dagestan, when he'd go to Dagestan and he'd come back to the States with his like main coaches, they'd be like, he's all fucked up, dude. And they'd be like, man, whatever you're doing over there, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. He's wrestling bears and shit. You're doing too much, man. Your body's all jacked up. But the fucking gains he got up here, dude, you can't match that to any physical realm, you know? Like, you can't match that to any physicality, rather. Like, if this up here is like Nate Diaz, for example, right? Like, Nate Diaz realistically isn't the most physically gifted guy. Kind of awkward, doesn't have a lot of power. It's not like, but this up here, he's unbreakable, dude. Like, and you don't realize that until you get in there with somebody who doesn't stop coming forward, and they're hitting you, and maybe their shots don't hurt at first, but then you're in there and you're like, dude, I'm dead. I can't. And they're just walking you down. Now their shots hurt, you know. Now you're like, oh damn, these shots feel different now, you know, because you're going backwards and they're just fucking going up, you know. And it's like, yeah, man, it's crazy, but
dude, fuck yeah. No, dude, yeah, I think that's so right, dude, because it's like, fuck, man, it's like if you're a big, strong, super crazy skilled, like fast person, but you don't have the mindset, you're just a bigger, stronger, faster quitter.
Exactly.
And it's like, so do you know who Tim Grover is?
Tim Grover sounds familiar.
He was the personal trainer for like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Okay, yeah.
So this dude, like, he coached icons. He didn't just coach like elite players, you know. And so he's got 2 books. Both books are fucking amazing if you ever read them. If you coach anything, like, these are really good just because he's got that like fucking relentless mindset. Oh, yeah. One of his books is called Relentless. The other one is called Winning, and I love it. And his bit on winning and being relentless to become like elite, like top of the top. And it's like, it's unorthodox to become remarkable.
Oh, dude, for sure.
To become remarkable, it's like it is unorthodox. Like, they would have, like, he would get so much shit when Michael Jordan would go to, like, in the championship games, he would have Michael Jordan doing like a 2-hour like burnout workout before, so that Jordan could like get his mind ready for battle. Like, he wanted to go in dead, so that he could play at his best. And people were like, "What are you doing? This is the best fucking. What are you doing with Michael Jordan?" And it's like, dude, this dude's fucking insane. He wants it.
100%, dude. Yeah,
it's whatever he said. I would never coach out anything that hinders performance. If it's hindering performance, we coach it out. But it's everything, and it's unorthodox. It's not what you would think. It's 100% against the science.
And that's the thing too. And there's a guy named Abel Sanchez, right? He's a coach, a boxing coach. He's trained in Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. Well, this is one of my favorite boxers. Dude is like, he's probably got the best chin in modern day boxing that we've ever seen. Like, the toughest guy ever. I mean, never has been dropped in sparring his AMI career or his pro career, ever. Never. He's never experienced getting dropped or even taking a knee. He's like the most just iron human being ever, right? But his coach, he has this thing that he would do where he would get his fighters extremely tired before they'd spar, right? A lot of coaches would be like, I want you to be fresh for sparring. Not him. He'd get them so exhausted, and then he'd make them spar, right? So like you're already dead. So anything that you're able to learn, already being tired and sparring, you're not gonna lose.
Yeah.
If you can be exhausted and you can retain information and you can learn things, and like you're not gonna lose that, ever. It's gonna be ingrained in you,
Dude, I love that. I fucking love that. Dude, that's just so right. It just resonates so true.
So much, bro.
Dude, if you go, like, think about it, man. It's like people always sort of say, like, when does, in the workout, right? I've been a trainer for 11 years.
Yeah.
I get this a lot. When does this get easier? You don't want it easier.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane, but you want to always keep it hard. You're going to get better and not know it, so it's a little insane because you have to increase the intensity to keep the feeling of I'm shit.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that's how you come in tired, then we're going to fucking hit it because now we get, like, that hour is all learning.
100%.
Yeah, and it's a little insane, but, like, look, who doesn't want to win? Dude?
It's crazy to a lot of people, but, I think there's, two types of people, and it's like, so it's hard for some people to see that. And it's like, that's cool, to each their own, but this is for me,
Doesn't it almost seem, though, because, like, I'm so biased to that's like the way to get better.
Yeah.
Like if you, in your job, if you're not into fitness and stuff, you should be into fitness for your health and your life.
Yeah.
But let's say you're not. Let's say you're like your Iron Man, your boxing match is your career in fucking whatever, like selling cars. Let's say, I don't know, whatever you really are into.
Yeah.
Like, okay, beautiful, love that. But like, then sell 1 million cars and then go do something that requires you to have to like still do your thing.
Exactly.
Like it's the principle remains the same almost.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Like it remains the same. It's like you have to be totally torched.
Yeah.
And then go back to that place.
Yeah, dude.
Like immediately.
Yes.
And then survive it.
Yeah.
It's like you want to be a lion. You jump in the lion's den when they're fucking hungry. You learn how they eat, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing worth it's gonna come easy. Nothing. I guess nowadays you got some people that get stuff handed to them. You see that here and there. But in most cases, right? In most cases, like the more you're able to face that resistance, right, is like the more you're gonna grow. So if you can suffer, right, and you can genuinely suffer and embrace it, very rarely do I see somebody who is not successful or who does not kick ass at whatever they want to do. You know?
Dude, 100%. Those are the folks that I really admire. If there was like if not a mentor, but if there was an inspiration, it comes from the folks who really carry that mindset and have proved it through their actions. Who inspires you?
Dude, I'm like a father's child, man. I'm not gonna lie. My dad is like my biggest inspiration ever. Like, I put him above everybody, man. Genuinely, that dude is like the most inspiring human being ever. Like, genuinely. Like, I don't know if you'd be interested. I want to get him on a podcast because his story. It would be a long one though. It'd be a long one. He's done some crazy shit. I mean, he played in the NFL. He played for the Cleveland Browns. He was a 1976 world champion adagio ballet dancer. He used to do these big tours and stuff. He worked with Elvis. He worked with like Little Richard. Little Richard, a piano guy. He's worked with all these crazy artists. Like he did this show, like this comedy show, and Daryl Jones was the bass player at the time, pre-Rolling Stones, so he's a Rolling Stones bass player. And like him and my mom, they used to travel the world and do these acts and stuff. And she was the other partner to him, and when they danced, and I got pictures of all this stuff, all this crazy dude. They're like, he is the most inspiring dude ever. Dude,
I would love to have your dad on the fucking podcast. If you guys wanted to set something like that up for the future, dude, we could do 3 hours on a Saturday or something.
Bro, let's do it.
And make it like a thing.
Literally the first, this is just to give you a little highlight. He was born in Brooklyn, right? The first thing that happened to this guy, he was born, he was abandoned by his family, put on someone's doorstep. And he's 91, so this is back when you couldn't trace shit, right? Nobody knew how to find out who his parents were. He was abandoned, dude. Abandoned, right? And the people that found him, they took him and they put him on the the next neighbor over's doorstep. They're like, we don't want him there. This is a crazy time too.
Yeah.
So he ended up getting taken to a church, and he was raised by nuns for a little bit and shit, man. His story is insane.
Yeah, the answer is yes. I would love. And then, it just kind of makes it. Then the Church of Jamey, like his offspring is put.
Dude, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that worked out. But yeah, dude, he's
awesome.
like, oh man, he is. You'll spend 5 minutes with this guy, and you'll be like, holy shit. And he's just like a Robert De Niro type of dude, like just slick back hair, more jewelry than I got, just like very old school, but like. Man, he's incredible, bro.
Dude, we'll be messaging after
this.
Let's
go, dude.
We gotta put me in the Shark Tank, get my ass knocked out, yes. and then we gotta set that up. I would actually absolutely love to do that. That would be fucking.
Yeah,
amazing.
it'd be a great podcast, man. He's got so much to talk about, dude. It's crazy.
Fuck yeah, dude! I know I gotta get you out of here because I know you gotta get back to the grind, which I totally get. So I got a couple more. I wanted to talk a little bit about like the band thing. So you're in a band, and dude, explain a little bit about that. Like just so because I'm just curious because when I was in high school, I was in a metal band.
Yeah.
I just called myself the Yeller because we just did like some screaming. It was good fun. We did for about 3 years. We were just like we'd like play in the basement of churches and stuff. And
so that's actually how it started. So I actually I started playing music about 12 or 13 years old.
Okay.
I was playing like death metal, hardcore music.
Hell yeah.
I ended up actually getting in this band called Battalion, and we had like a manager. We were traveling all over the place. We were really big for like the area, like the St. Louis, Chicago area, and it was amazing, bro. Like I dropped out of school for it, like I literally, and this tells you about my parents. I got kicked out of school, I'll say, but I was kind of wild, a lot of energy. School was not for me, right? And I told my dad, I was like, I think I'm going to go move in with these guys. I was 15 years old. I was like, I think I'm going to go move into the city and play with this metal band. They're like, they need a vocalist. And he's like, well, if you're not going to go to school, you can't live here, And I was like, all right, but you're like, you support it? He's like, yeah, you're going to find your own path, and the life my parents came from, they had a very rough childhood. So like, he was never going to stop me from doing it. He was going to guide me all he could, give me all the knowledge that he could, but he was never going to stop me if he saw that I was ambitious about something. Just because how I am, I'm going for it regardless. He knows that's how I am. I'm going for it, right? So 15 years old, I moved out and I started playing music with these guys in the city. They were all like 18, 19, 20 years old. I was 15. And it stemmed into actually... unfortunately, death metal and hardcore, you can't make that much money. So at one point,
not a big scene.
Yeah,
even though that's my shit, I love that shit.
Dude, same, dude. I grew up on all that. Yeah, so
100%.
The band I was in was Battalion, so I'll link you to those guys. Like
100%.
it's very heavy music, But so pretty much, I did that. I was traveling doing that, and then a lot of the members ended up kind of growing up, getting jobs, stuff like that. Band kind of fell apart, whatever, And me and one of the dudes that I used to play music with. He started like producing rap, like kind of jokingly, but like was really good at it. He's an IT dude and was also a dude that I played music with. So like you combine those two things, like that's kind of what producing is, right? So, and like I came over one time and I seen him and he was recording this rapper and stuff, and I was like, dude, this shit's actually like, this is like really dope, dude. Like this is really dope. I've never rapped before in my life, dude. And it's funny because when I started, I was like, I think I'm just going to scream, I was like, let's just fuck around, like have some fun, like never planned on doing anything. And he started making some stuff. We started doing some shit. People heard it. We were just like showing it and they were like, dude, this is so good. Like this will blow up, And we were like, huh. So we just kept making music. Next thing you know, we had a fucking album, dude. Yeah. 12 songs, like solid songs, We're like, you know what, dude? Like we may be missing out on some money here. So like, let's just do this. Like if we could drop this, and make some cash off it, like fuck yeah, that's cool, like we were both broke and shit at the time, so it's like, all right, let's do this, and it actually popped off really hard. We had a dude that was going to take us to like Atlanta and put like upwards of like $60,000-$70,000 into us to boom us off, and then COVID hit, bro.
Oh, dude, fucking the old vid, man.
COVID shut us down, dude, and we've been fairly active since then, but it was COVID, just the extension of it, man. It just kind of took the fire out of it for us, So we're trying to get it back. The goal is to definitely make more music and get it going again, but like, there was no way to really do anything during that COVID time. Couldn't play shows, couldn't tour, it's hard to like make money off music. So it was like, well, it's like I've put, about 10 years of my life into playing music. So I was like, it would be good to get something back off it, if I could pay my bills or something doing it.
No doubt. I was gonna say, what is the reason for why music? What is it about? What do you play?
So I was always vocalist. Vocalist? Always a vocalist, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And like, what is it like? Are you trying to like send a message out with this, or what's the motivation?
Like there is a bit of
music.
It's so it was or
just fun.
I'm not gonna lie, the music was like a big outlet for me too, just like how fighting was and training was, but it was like everything dark that I had inside my body, because let's be real, everybody's got some level of that, everything dark, all my demons, everything that I was facing, the relationships, all the bad shit that had happened to me, I let it out in that music. And if you listen to that music, it's very aggressive. Anybody that would hear that music, they're probably like, this guy's fucking crazy,
No, I listen to it. I love the shit.
Dude, I love to hear it, man.
I'm gonna love this guy.
It's very dark. It's very aggressive. It's it's almost offensive, and but I loved it, man. It just made me feel alive, and it put me in this situation, in this state where I felt out of body, and I felt like I was on like a high, and I loved it. I loved it,
That's so interesting, dude. Look, here's the thing. Tim Grover, back to Tim Grover, because he just has this bit on people who are exceptional. Yeah. Like they find a place to they don't run away from their dark side. He believes that everyone has a dark side.
100%.
It hinders you so deeply for you to be afraid of or intimidated by or embarrassed of your dark side.
Yeah.
He says, you have a dark side. You can try to be politically correct and try to say you don't, and that you're perfect. You're not, and that's hurting you that you're saying that.
Yeah.
And he said Kobe Bryant had a dark side. He had a way of using it, like doing it, indulging in it. Same thing with Michael Jordan and the rest of the people he worked with.
Yeah.
Do you believe everybody has a dark side, and that they should find a way to be proud, maybe even be proud of it to some degree? It depends on what your dark side is.
100%. I feel like if you're not able to be like transparent with that, it's like you're just fucking lying to people, realistically, you're just, come on, you can't tell me that everybody hasn't, had demons and had things, even if you come from maybe an easier life, whatever. Mm-hmm. Everybody has different things that make them feel certain ways, so to say that you're not experiencing something that makes you feel kind of like fuck, whether it's a breakup in a relationship or a friend that did you dirty or something, right? Whatever, everybody goes through that, and so I think that's there. I think a lot of people may ignore it, or a lot of people just let it eat them alive. But for me, I'm like, I'm going to make something of this shit, man. I got to feel this anyways. I'm going to fucking do something with it,
I feel like that to some degree, people that can hold resentment, it seems like that the resentful and the bitter are the people that are the ones who are acting like they're perfect.
Exactly.
And that they're not letting it go.
Hammer on the head, dude.
You know what I mean? I believe that fully. And I think that's awesome that you felt the euphoria of dude. Giving that.
It's out of body, dude. It's a crazy out of body experience, man.
Yeah, dude. Dude, right now I really don't have anything outside of I run until I fall over.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Yeah. I want to do something. I just do it because I just love it.
See, you know
what I mean? That's something I don't really do.
I think you would probably fall in love with what we do at the church. I think I got to get you out there, man, because you're gonna be surrounded with a bunch of other people that are just like you, who are like, dude, I just want to throw myself in the fire.
Yeah.
And it's like. Some people just really fucking love that, and they feed off that, just being able to just be like, this is gonna suck and I'm fucking stoked.
100%. Dude, when I was in high school, dude, I boxed for about a year. I did 8 spars. I went in twice a week. I went to this place. It was called Rio's. This old guy just sat on an old metal chair.
Oh yeah. Sounds like a legit boxing. Awesome.
It was everything was rusty and people were just wrapping their hands and beating the shit out of each other. Yep. And this guy would sit there. He would never get up. He would be there the whole time. But everyone respected this dude, man. This Rio's dude. He didn't speak a lick of English. He would just be like, oh, no. And do it.
He just point and make noise. You'd have to figure out what he's trying to say. Oh, shit. You're jump rope. And he's like, no. oh fuck, wrong thing.
Dude, like some people knew how to decipher it. They were like, it was like Brian and Stewie in Family Guy.
Yeah.
Like they just knew what he was saying. Everybody else did. I was like Lois. Like, fuck.
It's like a baby. Like parents like know what they're saying. Like, and you're like, oh okay, yeah, he wants his milk. You know.
Exactly. Oh yeah. So that's like the people who really ran it. Like Rio ran it, but he did it like through like the folks that could decipher the language.
Oh yeah.
And it was fucking hilarious. I loved that guy. And then eventually he died, and I stopped doing it because my track coach was like, hey, like you have to spend more time here, not over at gym. And I love that place because it was free. Like the guy just let people come in. Just
a community center, you know?
Yeah. So then I stopped doing it. I never got back to it. But I did do it, and I loved it while I was doing it. So I've always sort of thought, because when I start doing something, I just get like, and I really like it. Like that's it. My focus just go. Now I'm like, I gotta get good at it. I gotta be the best I can be at this.
Super competitive, yeah.
And I want to do something that I don't have to become the best person in the place doing it.
Yeah.
You know? Something I just enjoy because I enjoy it. It's
just like being the best you can be.
Yeah, that's really it. And like if I never get really good at it, like, and it's not like, oh, Jordan's the best in the fucking area of doing it. Like I don't really I want something I don't have that. You know, and I don't have anything like that. It's like I'm doing it, I'm like, I'm building this podcast. I want this podcast. I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to every badass dude in the fucking town who's fucking really doing it out here, so we can talk about fucking, we're gonna make it the best podcast. Yeah. And it's like, dude, I just want to have no expectation to something and just do it. And like, dude, Shark Tank seems to be right along.
Well, this was destiny, man. This podcast was supposed to happen, man. I'm quite positive.
I know, man. I was like, dude, we gotta get fucking Jamey in here. I know you gotta get out of here.
No, you're good, man.
Dude, I would talk. By the way, like, dude, I would talk to you for fucking 3-4 hours.
Dude, I know, man. We might have to do like a follow up or something later.
You're the fucking man,
my guy.
So the last one I got, man, for you is a question I ask everyone who comes on the podcast, because I think that this is interesting, man. If I had a podcast that like everybody in the planet could listen to this, you could have their attention. I'm so interested in what people would say. So here's the question, man. If you had the attention of every single person on the planet, all 8 million these beautiful motherfuckers were listening to you right now, what would be your message?
Do what makes you happy and do it unapologetically, you know, and fucking go for it, right? Because anything else is like, you're fucking wasting time. And I think if you really love it and it really makes you happy and you do what it takes, right, and you really invest the time, you can make it living out of anything. Especially nowadays, we live in a world where you can fucking do anything, dude, you know. And that's kind of for me and just my past. I was like, you know, I loved it and I did it for the love, and now I'm like, holy shit, like I'm building a life because of this thing that I fucking love to do. So if there's anything that I could tell anybody out of just my experience, do what you fucking love and be fucking good at it. You know what I'm saying? And then everything else will follow, you know?
Fucking Jamey Kroesen, dude. Hey, man, thank you so much, dude.
Dog.
This was so much fun, man.
Dude, such a good time, bro.
I wish we had some more time. Where can they find you, brother?
Instagram, the Church of Jamey, and my personal is going to be Jamey Kroesen. The music page is going to be at Dead Play Noise on Instagram as well. And yeah, man, you find pretty much everything. I post a schedule on the Church of Jamey page. It's pretty much all those will loop you into everything. So.
Also, everything will be down in the description as always, with all the all the links for all the Instagram influencer people. You know where to find all the stuff.
Yeah, and we got all down here. We got like our website as well as like our like merch store. It's all on our Instagram too. So pretty much that Instagram page will take you to everything.
Yeah, with the links, and I'll put the individual links too, just so. But also I'll put your link tree. Is it a link tree? I'll put the link tree.
I don't even know if we have a link tree. I think we just do the bio thing.
Okay, that's all good. Yeah, I'll make sure to put that in the. I'll make sure though to put it in the description just so everybody can find it, because people need to find you, my man.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you guys for coming in, watching, listening, dude. And always remember, folks, think big, live better, and we'll see you on the next one.
Let's go.
Peace, dude.